Good afternoon, wherever you are. Good afternoon. Dr. Gregory Horton here. Thank you very much for being a part of the family, the HMG family, and Dr. Greg's family. I have not come live in a while, but I wanted to come live today because it's the anniversary of the channel. And I just want to say thank you all for your support. Doing this work on behalf of my country and myself, it's never easy because what we do, you find that not a lot of people will gravitate to the message that we are bringing. Now, the World Championship started yesterday. For those who don't know me, I am Dr. Gregory Horton. I'm a three-time Olympic medalist, world champion in track and field, and I got my opportunity from getting a scholarship to come to the United States. So I am passionate about what some of the athletes are doing now, because at the end of the day, my aim is to help them to make better decisions in their lives. I've seen them come, I've seen them go, and it appears to me that not all are able to see that you must make a transition from athletics into the real world. And for me, I had to go through my own little struggles, but I was able to make the transition from an athlete. Now I am a professor. I lecture at several universities, and I'm happy with my life, and I'm happy with the decisions that I made. Now, like everybody else, I made poor decisions from time to time, and the impact those decisions have, sometimes you cannot snap your finger and erase them. And that is one of the reasons why I am passionate about what I do. I am going to talk a little bit about the World Championship because the content is just coming. You're not able um, to break them down the way you want to. So I'm going to take the time to break them down. And for those who don't know me, the purpose of this channel is not just to give you results. It's about how we can use the information based on what we see with some of the athletes and help them to better understand the impact their decisions have on their lives and their family lives, and also for you, the fans, to better understand what is going on. So we're going to start with the men 100 meters. The final ran about 2 hours ago, and some of the people who were supposed to be victorious or won a medal, they were nowhere to be seen. However, you can see the stages of development, and you can tell that in life, when you don't get your way, the next best thing to do is just to assess the situation for what it is and try to learn from it as you move on. So we're going to start with the men 100-meter final, where Noah Lyles won the 100 meters. I've said it in a video. I would recommend that you watch it. I said that Noah Lyles would be one of the greatest of all times. And the reason why I said that, because when I looked at his level of development, I saw where he had good people in his corner. I saw where he was making good decisions in terms of where he trained, why he trained with that particular person, and how that person could help him. But one of the things I saw that not a lot of people saw is how he was going through the transitioning phase, because I've said it on all of the interviews that one of the toughest things for any athlete is to transition successfully from either high school into college or from college into the pros. So in Noah's life situation, he made the transition from high school straight into the professional arena. And now he's world champion, Olympic champion, and now he's world champion in the 100 meters. Now let us look at Oblique Seville, because he was expected to win a medal, and unfortunately he was not able to come home with that medal. But after the interview, I can say I was very impressed with the way how he expressed his concerns and his disappointment, because one of the things he said that he took the advice from the coach, he followed the examples, and as a result of that, he was not able to do what he really wanted to do, and he fell short at the end. He finished fourth last year. Now he's fourth again this year. But he said that he will just go back to the drawing board and he will put things together. And that tells me that that is the making of a champion. But one of the main lessons I want you all to get as young developing athletes is that when you're going through your rounds, you have to be careful with how you pace yourself. Because the commentator asked him, the reporter asked him, do you think the first round was too fast? And he acknowledged that it may have been because he ran a personal record in the first round. So to run a personal record in the first round and to come back the next day to run twice as fast, I know it was going to be difficult for him. But the good thing about it is that as he mature, he will be better able to go through the rounds successfully. And that is the things that is one of the things I said that we, as we develop, we must be mindful of what we do. And this is why I've often said that in order to be the best version of yourself, you must get good counsel, you must get good leaders around you, because some of the things that you can see, chances are those leaders may have seen them before and they can help you to navigate through those terrains. Now, as I said before, I am not a YouTuber who just want to tell you about results. I want to teach and I want to help others to understand what he or she needs to do in order to make that successful transition from athletics into the real world. So I hope that you will continue to support Oblique Seville, because he said that please continue to support me as I go through my transition. And as I said, that was the making of a champion. Now we're going to talk about Shelly Ann Fraser Pryce, because she ran her first round today. She did extremely well. She was confident, you could tell. But after the race, she was asked a question, how is the knee? And you could tell that she did not want to go into that with the reporter, but she answered the question anyway. And she said that, look, I am doing my very best to stay mentally focused because I know what I have to do. And I have not been able to do the things that I want, but I am able to do the things that I can. And again, you will see the difference between the character of a champion, the building of a champion. Now, I can tell you that Shelly Ann Fraser Pryce is thinking about her legacy. She's thinking about this might be her last major international race. And she's thinking about what this championship could mean if she was able to pull it off. And it is important to note, because if you're trying to be a champion, you have to look at what Shelly Ann Fraser did over the years, how she carried herself, how she articulated herself, because that is important. And I've oftentimes said that talent alone, the physical talent alone, don't make you a champion. You must be aware of your surroundings. You must be aware of the people who you have in your corner. You must be able to make good, sound decisions. So she qualified. She had one of the fastest times going in. And then we saw where Sherika also did well. She dominated her event. She looked as if she's there for business. But here is the beautiful thing about Sherika Jackson. I remember a few years ago when she was making the transition into the 100 meters. And a lot of people did not see that, because she was originally a 400-meter runner and people couldn't see her making that successful transition. But again, in life, you have to pay your dues. It is best to start slow, and as you mature, you go into the areas that you are good at. And that's one of the things I saw with Sherika Jackson, that she was able to mature. She dominated in Jamaica in the 400-meter for a period of time. But as she started to find herself, as the coach started to see clearer in terms of what she was capable of doing, she now started to blossom in her own. And a lot of people today who support Sherika Jackson, I am confident right now that they may not have believed in the beginning that she would be here where she is. And that is something in life where not a lot of people will be able to see your goals, see your dreams, and be a part of it before it becomes fruitful. But now it's fruitful, and everybody now can predict to say, Sherika Jackson, they always knew that she was going to be the greatest, or one of the greatest in Jamaica. And this is why I say to you, wherever you are, you must be patient. but you must surround yourself with good people, people who have the knowledge and the experience that can help to lead you and guide you down the path, because I can tell you, it is not going to be pretty when you fail to achieve your goal. Now, one of the surest medal we were supposed to get was Rasheed Broadbell. And I'll talk about Broadbell in this way because I think that he is going to be a great athlete because he has a good mind. But he was supposed to be one of the surest medal. And just for a second, he lost his focus and he fell in the first round. Now, I can tell you that is very discouraging. It was discouraging for me, and I'm sure it was discouraging for him and his family and his fans. Because what is he going to do now? The only thing he can do now is to learn from the mistakes. Now, while I was watching the race, one of the things I saw is that he just lost his focus only for a small second. And the race was over, and he was nowhere to be seen. No advancement, and that is something he has to live with for the rest of his life. And it's the same situation with you. You may have found yourself in a situation where things were going right, and within the blink of an eye, you lost focus and you end up losing out on things that were important to you. But what you can do, some people think about it and they allow it to cause depression. They allow it to cause them to lose focus of a brighter future. And this is why I am talking now about Rasheed Broadbell, because I hope he can look at this mistake and I hope he can see where he went wrong, and I hope he is able to pick up the pieces and move forward the right way. Some people can use these situations to bring out the best in them, and some people can use these situations to find a reason to underperform. So I hope wherever he is, I hope he and his coach and his team members will come together. I hope they will support him, and I hope that he will see that, life is about getting up. It's about brushing yourself off, and it is about moving forward, whether you're an athlete or not. The other person I want to talk about today in the 400 meters is Antonio Watson. Now, everybody know him. He had this drama a few years ago coming out of high school. But look at him now. Now, here is a true message I want to deliver on this. Because when Antonio went pro out of high school, he went straight into the sprints. Everybody wants to be in the sprint because it comes with a glamour life. You're the fastest man in the world. But sometimes you are not ready to be the fastest man in the world. Or sometimes you're not ready to be the fastest man in that event. And you saw where Antonio struggled. I saw him run the 100 and the 200, and I knew that was not for him. Now, if he says he was using the 100 and the 200 to better his 400 meter speed and strength, then I would applaud him for that. Because what I see now with Antonio Watson is that he is, to me, the future in the 400 meters. Why? Because he has the speed, and he's running a consistent and a strategic race from start to finish. So he won his heat in 44.77, and you can see now that he's dropping under the 45 second easily every single time. Why? Because he is running the same race. So the lesson for me that I would like to share with you is that in order to do what you want, it takes time. And sometimes we run away from what we ought to do because we do what we want to do, and we may end up paying a price. Now look at him now. He's a medal contender. He's looking confident. He's looking comfortable. And I think he can go all the way. And I'm excited about that because 400 meters is what I do. I like to watch my countrymen run. And I think that Antonio is going to be the next guy. But let's look at Sean Bailey as well, because Sean has been through his own trials and errors and tribulations. But he's here now, and he has been consistent for the longest time. all of this year, he has shown that he is the force to be reckoned with. And I remember a few years ago, 2 years ago, when they brought him to the Olympics and he won the championship under Davian Clark, yet they choose to make him run on the mixed relay and not the open event, because it shows that he was not focused at that time. But look at Sean now. He paid his dues. He is holding his own. He finished third in his heat. He didn't run the best race for the heats, but nonetheless, he looks comfortable. I think he ran 44.98. His heat was won by Kirana James. But look at him now. He's holding his own, and he's also a medal contender in my eyes. Another story I want to share before I go, and it is Natasha Morrison in the 100 meter, the women 100 meter. She ran a very good race today, this morning, and she finished second behind Tolu, and she ran a time of, I think it's 11:02 or something like that. But after the race, she was talking about the technical things that she needs to do in order to be that medal contender. And I've always supported her privately, because I saw at one point she was with MVP and then she chose to move on to somewhere else, and that didn't work. But she came back to MVP and she is able to hold her own. Now it's tough for her right now because she has Sharika Jackson and she has a couple other Jamaicans before her who are doing great. But at the end of the day, that's how life is. Sometimes there are more talented people than you, and you just have to wait for your time in order to do what you need to do. And I hope that she will make the final and she will perform at her best, because that's what we do. So wherever you are, I am here to say to you that take your time, be patient with yourself, but just make sure that whatever you do, that you're doing the right things, you're getting the right support, you have people who you trust. Because one of the things I find in life is that sometimes the people that you go to for advice, they have their own ulterior motive. And as a result of that, they do not give you the right information at the right time. So I hope that as you continue your life journey, and I hope that as you continue to achieve what you want to achieve, that you will do the things that are necessary to help you to become the best version of yourself. As I said before, I enjoy doing what I do. I want to bring you content that can elevate your way of thinking, elevate your way of being, because in life, it's too rough for us to settle for less, because when you settle for less, it is disappointing. So I thank you all for coming. If you have any question, I see my good friend Davian Clark, who is here. If you have any question, I will take your question, because I am about to sign off and get ready for tomorrow. Any final thought? Any question you have you want me to answer? Also, I will be doing the Mind of a Champion tour again in Jamaica. I'll be going to 5 universities or 5 colleges and a few universities, because I want to make sure that the message is very clear that when you are an athlete, you need to think about making the transition from professional to real world life, or from high school to college into the real world. So I will be doing the 3rd Mind of a Champion tour to these universities and colleges and high school, and it is absolutely free. HMG will take on the bulk of the burden, because we want to see a difference. As I said, sometimes Davian Clark, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you feel alone. Sometimes you feel as if you are the only one trying to make a difference. But it is not only me. I know that the Danny McFarlane, Davian Clark, and many others, they are trying to get the message out. But it is very tough to get the message out, because there are so many people who stand to lose if many of these athletes are becoming the best version of themselves. I thank you very much for listening, I wish you all the best in all you do, and I am signing out now. So, may God continue to bless and keep you all as you continue the journey and continue to support this channel. As I said, today is our anniversary, and we are happy that we are able to still be here with all the many challenges that we all have faced. So thank you very much for listening. I am Dr. Gregory Horton. Have a blessed day.